offline, off lane. Words are
He might
really
be
good.
Kobe offline too.
I mean, maybe. Who knows? We have to ask. But OG bringing in DM, how is he as an offlaner for these guys? Because we saw them sacrifice him maybe a little bit too much in that first series, a bit of adjustment in their second series that we played. Was he still that sacrificial role, though, in that second series that they won?
I think he played more of the Snapfire in that. I feel like that's where he fits a bit more. He can play the more greedier heroes, but I feel like it's not necessarily his style, or not his strength perhaps, let's put it that way. I think he's better off on the heroes where they can pressure early on and then go with the team at like specific timing, 15, 16 minutes with some greaves.
If you mentioned the EM, like when he broke into the Western scene at least, I think it was Chaos Gaming, right? Something like that.
He was played with him.
He was on
Vega
VP
once.
definitely, but he was in some Western teams as well. Like when I look at his name, I just imagine Venomancer. It's what they spammed quite a bit. So these kind of heroes are definitely those that want to stay in the lane, want to take the enemy side of the map, but they also need a little bit of support from their position 4.
We had an interview with OG the other day where we were asking about DM. I think it was Misha we were talking to, and he said that DM is a really good fit for their team. He does a lot of shot calling and a lot of like control of the game, even like guiding the supports with what he needs and what he wants. That's why I think it makes a lot of sense for this team to have him on more of like a utility-based hero rather than the greedy one, because I think his #1 strength as a player is guiding action in the game. It's also the vibe you get when you play with him in pub games. He like likes to take charge. He wants things to happen. He wants to make moves and coordinate people. That's a lot harder if you're farming up your third item in the offlane. But if you're playing something like Snapfire that naturally wants to group up and play with other heroes in the team, that's where he can really shine.
Are you impressed with Gaimin Gladiators being able to have so many multiple win conditions? Like, is that what the biggest change has been for them? Not only in a new player, but also how the change in draft has occurred for them?
I feel like they're just really understanding, well, not only the draft, but then also how to execute, like who to go with at what time. You see like Ace, as you guys have mentioned, he gets to farm a lot, which is good, and that's what he wants to do, and the heroes that he has, they want to do that. But this is enabled by the supports going with Quinn, and already setting it up in the draft with the IO Lesh, going together, making space. So I feel like they're just understanding of what they want to do at what time in the game, and then they execute it.
I feel like they're maybe a team that's perhaps a little bit harder to draft than OG is at the moment, and that OG might have more work for them in the first 2 bans. Like you're thinking about the IO Lash strats, right, that they ran in the last series. You're thinking about Ace's Nature's Prophet as well, and then on top of that you have all of these meta heroes like the Linas and the Enigmas and whatnot.
I would agree. I think OG have been a little
Okay, that was delicious.
predictable overall in terms of strategy, but at the same time, their players are very... I would say their hero pools are not the limiting factor. I think it's about confidence in the strategies and what they... It's not like, oh, we have this one-trick pony. Like, when I think of DM, I think super versatile player, for example. Like, they bring in an offlaner that has a
When I
massive
think
hero
DM,
pool,
I
but
think
that doesn't mean you have to play
Centaur
all of it.
DK.
If there's one style that you're really successful with, you might want to, overweight that one.
He loves playing
Okay,
just
then if you
bulky
guys
boys
are
that
OG,
stand out
Are
in
you
front
going
of
to have to ban
everything.
that IO Lash? Do you only ban one of them in the first phase, or do you do a secret and just let both of them through?
So personally, I would be okay with giving it up once if in my theory crafting before the series you figure out, okay, when they actually take this, we can take this opening, feel good about it, turn it into some Pangolier type draft where it's hard for the Lesh to run in, where you have a lot of damage. But if your prep was like, oh, this feels really hard to draft against, then you take it out.
IO was historically always a hero that's really difficult to play into, right?
Yeah.
Like very rarely did we have a patch in which IO is strong and teams are willing to give it away to players that like play that IO really, really well. Like just think about GH and Nigma. Every single game for 2 years straight, IO is banned out.
I think I like the Lesh ban more just because the way I see it, Quinn will play this hero without IO. But if you ban Lesh, you half ban IO because it's like their #1 hero that they want to couple it with. That doesn't mean they're not going to play it, but if you do it this way, you take out their strongest combo that enables their mid. So I don't think you ban both.
What's up with the Squirrel though? Like OG definitely values it a lot, but do you guys feel that this hero is worthy of a first phase ban? Like they played it, I think 3 times already. Okay, I can see it. The hero is decent, but all the woodland critters are going away. The treant as well.
I guess maybe they just feel like it makes the opening picks hard for OG. There's a lot of teams that they have like 1 or 2 openings.
How are you
And when
feeling,
you, like,
Darksteel?
remove one and you prepare for the other, or maybe you remove both.
Who
with
do you
the
think's
first phase
gonna
bans,
take
that is
the
possible
win?
sometimes. Maybe that's like the biggest reason why.
I feel like normally they pick the clock if they don't get the hood on OG, so maybe they're more willing to play up against it. Maybe they have more things in what they want to do to deal with it.
Okay, Tofu Rubik. We have seen this.
Always
We've seen what
Rubik
can
at the
happen when
start?
he gets it. He gets an MVP.
That's
I was going
pretty
to
much
say
his
MVP
back.
absolutely pops off.
So definitely something that they're super comfortable with, and Rubik as well just looks like an incredible hero at the moment. A solid opener.
We see it a lot more in overall first pick than we see it on 2-3, right? It's just it kind of it's not like it removes a ton of heroes from the counter pool from the 1-2 team, but it's flexible. It seems like more teams are experimenting with playing it in the safe lane as well. Like more people are getting comfortable with that. But this is the interesting choice that they actually are willing to give up the Lina because they have the reliable Light Strike Array steal. We've seen Rubik as a counter pick to this. I don't know if I think this is worth it unless Gaimin Gladiators find a Lina counter as their next pick. I think they're going to close the face with a Quinn Sniper, actually. I'm going to be bold here. That's a hero that's been banned a lot against this team. Quinn has been owning it up on that hero in mid in his pubs.
True. He talked about it last
outstanding
time.
sniper. He is really, really good at that. And obviously, it is a...
He's really good at sniper. That literally says nothing.
They, OG already lost once with the Lina, right? Like they picked that Lina into
He's
like
really
the
good at
Thunder.
playing the hero that
Yeah,
just
but
stands there and
Doom have a
shoots.
Doom, and Doom is really struggling. I'm not saying it was Doom's fault, but I think it was just the way that they played. It was also that
Doom is
tri-lane
that
strat.
bad that he loses.
No,
even with
that's not
Lina.
what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying they also were trying the tri-lane. There were a lot of different reasons why they could have lost that lane again.
For sure, and Tundra just played that series amazingly well. They had some really good ideas against the Lina, like the Spectre DK. But
He's still in.
yeah, you still go for the Ace Nature's Prophet. I was thinking, is there a way to completely negate the effect of the Rubik in the first stage? Like if you're just picking it, like, or do you even try and do that? Like, do you even care about Rubik that much?
Rubik is the most contested hero in Western Europe right now. Beats
Here's
Lina.
Exactly, and
Beats
he,
Lina.
Do you know his win rate?
Yep, it is 58.33%.
That is actually
is-
higher than I expected. That is
Exactly,
very
so-
Picked
high.
12 times.
my question is, if teams are willing to first phase this hero, okay, it's a Rubik. I understand it takes a lot of skill.
I
to
mean,
play it,
Rubik's
but
plus is the fact that it
shouldn't
makes
we
sure
move
that the enemy
towards
doesn't
maybe
go
finding
for like an
solutions?
Enigma or something.
The only problem I see with Rubik is I feel like it's not so much like the first two picks that is going to counter it. So I think what you want to base or what you want to do in the first phase against Rubik is maybe pick heroes where he doesn't feel too good stealing spells from, or just like, you know, some mediocre spells. And then later in the draft, I think you do either a lineup that overruns him, where you can jump him because that's what the hero really hates to play against, or B, something that can, I guess, outrange him. Perhaps that's where people think that even though he steals Lina's stun, that she's still very good against him.
A couple of hits and you're pretty much gone later on in the game, right? There was a team yesterday, I'm sorry, there were too many games, but they even played Enigma into the Rubik, and basically their whole idea, the way they play it is every single fight, everyone just goes on the Rubik.
Yeah.
That was IG against LGD.
IG, yeah. So and they did. IG
won.
actually won versus LGD with that strat. So perhaps Rubik should. Okay, you don't have to ban him out. You don't have to pick the best heroes against him. You just have to adjust the way you team fight against him.
I mean, you need to like
Yeah.
respond to the hero in some way, right?
Nature's
Either
Prophet
someone
is
in the
pretty
draft
nice
gets to
hero,
know
of
him,
course,
or it needs
because
to be
we
like,
all know
okay,
that
as I
there's
said,
a
it's really
man who
Enigma
loves
matchup.
playing it.
Sure, it's
And
cool
they can
for you
always
to
flex
focus
it
with
if
Black
need
Hole,
be.
But if you're in the team fight, like,
I
okay,
think with
guys,
Aces,
I
he can
cannot
play
use
a
Black
really
Hole
good
unless you
5.
go on Rubik. So
A
you
really
play
good
off
safe lane as well.
Mid Storm Spirit, I need you to jump the Rubik, and my team fight is free.
Yeah.
It's more like you need to have this type of communication.
So we will get the sniper ban here. Yeah, Gaimin Gladiators choosing Nature's Prophet over Sniper. I don't mind it. I think both picks were really good, but obviously Nature's Prophet just seems to be the hero right now for a lot of the Western teams. So, I mean, aside from Lina and maybe Rubik. So, I mean, they got picked before him for a reason.
I was gonna say, I think it's
but
also a pretty comfort pick for DM as well. So maybe if they weren't willing
Sure.
to put a ban on it, they're like, let's put it into our lineup.
I think also it makes your lineup a little less telegraphed than a sniper.
Yes.
You have the flex between the 1-3.
Yep.
It just shows like, okay, I'm happy to play against Lina even if I don't lane against you. I can
By the
play
way,
fast.
there,
I've played it many times before. It's always
The
looked
place that Gaming Gladiators are
Very
playing
solid
from is
for them.
pretty
do
cool.
we think? So it seems like a really good
The,
Spectre ban now.
land
for,
location
for
or
OG, right?
whatever
You're
you call it.
running the Lina. That's what you lost to against Tundra
Boot
when you
camp.
played it. Spectre Nature's Prophet with the global
Probably
presence would
bootcamp,
be
the
really
word that I'm
powerful.
looking for.
Is there anything that becomes available then when you choose to ban Slark here, which I find a little bit odd?
I feel like it's always the three
Yeah.
bans: Sniper, Slark, and Spectre. The three
So-
S's versus
so
the
is-
Lina.
Is Slark really that good against Lina in your opinion? Like
You do have some AoE stuns, but if the game goes long enough, I've seen Slarks take over. Like in the
Should
Chinese
be
region at
okay.
least.
Yeah, I think Lina, maybe at the start, Lina is like a bit too fast, but maybe like this 25 minute mark, you have this Ags and a Shard, you get closer to the Skadi, I think then...
If you manage to
becomes
bridge the
annoying.
gap, eventually you take over. You have a basher, you jump on the Lina, and yeah.
Anything else for Gaming Gladiators that they really need to be aware of to ban you?
I feel like if you're OG, I don't want this Tusk to be a 5. I feel like you could take out a hero that would make Lina's lane a lot easier against the Nature's Prophet. Honestly, I haven't seen too many good responses from other teams against an offlane Natures. I still feel like all these Chens and Enches lane pretty well against it. They don't decide to take it out, which is fine, so it looks like they don't really care. They care more about the like split push factor of Natures and that he doesn't get picked off.
What do you think about Amisha Jakiro against Nature's Prophet? Do you think that's a little bit too crazy? We don't really see teams play it, but it's a traditional counter.
Do you want to be giving away
But then you have Ice Path against Rubik.
Ice Path against
So
Rubik?
that's like the downside.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of the times when you're playing against Rubik, it's kind of like, I like to use the whole thing about glass half full, glass half empty, right? Like you can't have everything, so you got to look at your positives a lot of the time, rather than. I actually think that's something a lot of teams fall victim to in drafting in general, is that they get paranoid about everything that could happen in the game. You also need to be confident in what you can make happen in the game, and if it really synergizes with what you have, you could make it work. But this is definitely a hero that Rubik doesn't face off well against at all. You can steal Earth Splitter, which is cool, but his other spells are impossible to use, more or less, for Rubik. So, and that's a hero that should, in theory, lane well against Nature's Prophet.
They played both
Rubik,
four so far, Tusk and ET. So one of them will more likely be the 5. I think more likely ET is a possible 5. There is a chance for Tusk to be a.
I love Elder Titan. There are some nice spells. I mean, the Earth Splitter is a really good steal to make.
Tiger plays a good ET.
But the thing with Elder Titan
Maybe they
is
can just like swap it up with the lanes. I think that is
it
something
does
that
have,
Gladiators. CM is pretty chill. They go for
it is a good counter to certain specific heroes.
They
Elder Titan is not one. Sorry,
And it was literally the.
Pudge
same
is not
hero.
one of
It
them.
was Nature's Prophet,
Also,
CM,
it
and
is
Pudge.
a
So.
Duratio Pudge, which we've seen a couple of days ago, and he destroyed with it.
Lina hates repositioning spells. In the past, when Lina was a popular mid, a lot of teams would pick Venge against it.
DP
swap it
probably
in, and just kill her
offlane.
off.
That Prophet
Pudge has the hook, obviously, to do
into
that.
the NP, like. Is there
I've
a
been
possibility of
getting
winning
screwed
the
by
first
Pudges in my
positioning
pubs as
down
well
when it
lately.
comes to
Again,
the lanes,
it's
or
fun.
you don't care about it.
I think they
Enjoyable.
might just keep it
Really
the
cool.
same way. Something I like about Nature's into these heroes is that even if you don't lane against them, they still have to really worry about you after like 5 minutes, because you can TP, you have the ult. I also think CM Pudge, like the matchup against DP, it is DP favored, but it can go wrong pretty quickly. They have some slows, they can run you down.
I mean, the
Hook
freeze
is-
into
How
hook
does
is just
Cypher
always
versus
dumb.
Flash heap work again? Like you don't
actually deal damage,
You
but I
don't deal
think you
damage,
heal.
but you heal. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, like,
that's how it
You
works.
heal the base like the base 8%, I think, but you don't deal any
You
damage.
don't deal any damage to him. Okay,
Yeah.
so it isn't even that bad of a matchup for a Pudge.
I guess the new Siphon is better against Pudge than the old one. This one with the higher flat numbers than the old one with the percentage might be better for DP, but I think either way this lane is going to be extremely volatile because there's a Nature's Prophet in the game. And even a DP is not safe in this lane, because if it is going to be in the enemy safe lane, what is really strong about Pudge safe lane versus off lane is how close you are to a tower. So Crystal Maiden can walk in with a flank Frostbite and you can hook into tower.
into the tower,
DP
yeah.
is not going to survive that if there's a Crystal Nova available as well. So
There's always a possibility of Prophet that Kazu mentioned, right? Like rotating in. So
probably, I would imagine Ace doesn't really want to TP before level 6, but he can if there's a good enough opportunity, of course. But I think he'll probably have his hands full in the top lane if he is facing ET +1.
Yeah.
So
I think for Gaming Gladiators, Quinn should be looking at a playmaker. The Kunkka ban to me makes me think of something like a Voice Spirit. I think you want someone that can also help you to get into enemy lines and move around the map, give some more tempo to the natures.
what against Lina is nice.
Yeah, maybe one of the problems is maybe they could be afraid that, oh, but then they can just put the DP mid. But I feel like, at least for your draft and your draft integrity, you kind of want a playmaker in the mid lane that is going to do okay and can move around.
I guess another way of looking at it is, are Gaimin a little bit like too mid-game heavy if they go Void Spirit? Like, what if the game goes late? Do you want Void Spirit and Pudge as your late-game duo? Maybe Quinn has something that perhaps scales a bit better than Void Spirit. not that Void Spirit doesn't scale, but the way that he takes fights, there is at some point he's an assassin, right? He'll kill one guy.
And that's
a lot
it.
of the time when you come to late game, buybacks come into play. People. start going
What
to
are you
tank
gonna
into
go
it,
for?
but
Morphling would have been
okay.
okay.
Maybe
There's
You
something
could
that you
go
see.
for
But I
still
mean,
the
Gaimin Gladiators
sniper.
have
No, actually,
historically
sniper's
shied
banned.
away from
Drow,
one-time
mate?
wins. They're
Nah.
very experienced with having to end games around the 20 to 30.
Something for Gaimin
They
Gladiators
had
in
the
mid.
same heroes plus Kanka
Arc?
in the last
I
game
don't
that they
actually know what
won,
all the
and
heroes
it
are for
was
dip.
a wash. They literally just completely dominated in the first 20 minutes. The game was over. Like 15 minutes in, you knew that they're not losing that one.
You guys see something that's not voice? Because there's a lot of mid heroes banned out. Like there's no Bad, there's no Ember, there's no Puck, there's no Kunkka. Pango would have been great for them, but of course, you know, they're playing against people who also have a brain, so they know Pango's good, so we ban it.
Well, OG is taking their time to ban out that last one as well. So
I mean, again, this is a hero that isn't really played right now, but I think this is actually an interesting Storm game, but I don't think Quinn really plays that hero much. But I could see that be an interesting choice if Storm was a little bit better, but okay.
gives you
This is also very long range against Lina. Also can out... I think it's actually a nice idea to have a hero that's... I liked your idea of Void Spirit, but if you're not going that route, I think it's very good to have someone who's very backline.
Yeah,
Playing against Tusk and ET, so you
but
want to deal the damage from far away.
aren't you giving a chance for OG to go for Storm or Void Spirit right now? Like, isn't that
Most
disadvantage
likely
for
yes.
them?
I think that's what they need in their draft.
They definitely need these backline assassins versus the
Anyone who's playing
versus the-
Storm in this patch is BZM, right?
Yeah.
He will play it.
and I feel like this could be a pretty good game for that.
Yes!
Get it?
Finally!
We see it.
We've caught Storm like 8 times.
Yeah, I was
feel
gonna
like
say,
we've
it's been
had
like the
so
last
many
2
drafts where we're
weeks.
like, wow, Storm is actually pretty damn good here, and they just never want to go with it after the nerfs, but this game is good enough.
Okay,
for BZM
Storm time.
to bring it out.
Yeah,
OG
if all
taking
three of
the
us
risk.
called it, like, it has to be.
Was a
good
better
game
draft.
for this game. However, at the same time, Storm is not in the best position, so do we believe in it?
I was gonna say, is it enough? to
Wait,
get
Fnatic
the
won
left
game-
that you
what?
wanted for the-
I actually
How
like
did
their
Fnatic
draft.
win?
I think it's really solid. My only problem might be this mid game in which the Ratio on his Pudge is just rotating everywhere, making space happen together with the Prophet. Prophet in a game such as this one.
Okay, who I think
That's
is...
a possibility.
I mean,
It's
this
not out
one
of
is
question,
kind of
but I do
tough.
think they'd rather go the... I would like him to go the Zai build this game. I think Axe Shard would be pretty cool. Axe Prophet is actually very good against Storm. It's a global route.
I mean, Storm doesn't do
so
shit
it
against
sets up for Pudge hook,
Pudge.
It sets the tempo.
Also solid.
Yeah, I think... I don't know if Ace has gone that though. I don't know if that's his MO, but...
Let's
It's
see.
very versatile. I think if anyone can do it. And
Oh,
they
wait,
can
no,
play
I need to...
alongside it.
Damn
I
it.
do like Gaming Gladiators draft quite a
Forgot
bit.
to log
I think
in
their
first.
lanes are very strong, and I think they're going to play on high tempo. But if OG can negate that, then I think they're set up to win this game the longer it goes.
Then I need to
Well,
sign
let's see
in.
just how long this game is going to go, just what build we're going to see on the Prophet. As we jump into game 1, it's our first series, OG up against Gaming Gladiators with B Cup and Lacoste.
Thank you very much. Coming into game number 1 should be a fun one, and it's looking to be pretty hype, honestly. The drafts and the
Definitely.
teams.
I dressed up. You know, this is a very important series, a good one. I like the drafts. This is going to be some, I think, very
Let's see.
entertaining Dota overall. Slightly favoring Gaming Gladiators in this one. Maybe because I'm a big fan of Rubik.
I kinda like the OG draft a bit
last
more, I
time. Man, he
think.
was on fire with
But-
that hero.
It was honestly
Gotta look it over
one of the best
again.
performances we've seen from a Rubik, but there have been a lot of Rubik games. This DPC.
Nah, I'm
throughout
gonna go
all
with
regions, and
OG
it
on
feels
game
like
1.
Kind of out of control what we've been seeing. Like the bar has been set even higher for all the Rubik players out there, and everybody's trying to prove themselves. And man, that Tofu game was nuts.
It was something else.
Oh, the
It was
odds
definitely-
are-
But OG, they also have a lineup that is strong in the laning
2.5.
stage, easy to play. They do have Lina, one of the most contested heroes besides Rubik in this game. We've seen what Lina can do. It's always the same build on the hero. She's a flash farmer. I'm really curious how this one's going to be played out, because there's certain counters to Lina in this game where she does not like to play into anything that can put her in a bad spot. We're talking about the Pudge hook. So this is going to be
You
the
do
big
need to
one.
hit the hook,
Ratio,
though.
Last time he played against Team Secret, he was really on point with his movement around the map. He was basically an off lane, then moved through the whole map, got some jungle creeps, and came back to the top lane, dominated the lane. Also, I don't remember last time I've seen Misha play ET. Usually it's a Taiga who plays it, but they swap things around. It's going to be position 4 Tusk, 5 ET. I guess after they realized that Nature's Prophet will be played from the off lane, they wanted to have that matchup.
Yeah, so they're kind of changing it up a little bit. Going back to your point about Arachio, it was great movements, great multitasking from him too. He had a couple of insane plays with the Pudge, and I'm wondering if with the Nature's Prophet, the movement you can have, the little bit of global presence you've got there as well with the Zeus, but you do have extra global presence, of course, with the Nature's Prophet, how aggressive they can be against this lineup and how they're going to take it once they start hitting that level 6 and everything that comes with it. As, you know, take a look. The game is looking and feeling pretty even. Esportsbet.io has it just about even with it favoring OG just a little bit. Do you see it the same way?
I favor
I'm
OG a
leaning
little bit.
towards
SMG
Gladiators
throwing, I
because
don't
the
know
global
how they
presence,
actually...
in
Are they
this
still
particular
showing that
game,
part?
but, look at both of these team logos. They're like, yeah, can we copy your homework? Yeah, just don't make it too obvious. They're literally the same logo.
Yeah,
There are 26k viewers at the moment on ePulse.
And it's
Damn
a
it!
different
I missed it.
Designer, yeah, but both of these
How hard
logos,
did they throw?
look cool. So Quinn on Zeus. It's been a while, I think, since we saw him play Zeus. So that global presence is gonna come in very.
I saw
handy.
the,
Nature's Prophet hitting first. Zeus is gonna be hitting level 6. Then Nature's Prophet.
Hawk
because
Live,
he's played from
like,
the off lane, so him and Rubik are gonna be sharing
banner,
some of the
what
XP.
if-
That means
you know,
that they
the
have a lot of kill threat on the
stats,
side lanes.
stuff.
I'm mostly looking at the top lane. CM
But just went
plus
up and down
Bunch,
and up and
it's
down
a
and up and down.
Very easy setup to execute, but Taiga, looking at his item build, starting with the snowball to be able to dodge the hook, but you can't use it if you're rooted. So Frostbite, great tool against it.
Yeah, we saw this combination before from Gaimin Gladiators, and it just makes the hook so much easier, and the aggression that can come from it is coming out tenfold when you've got that setup for the hook. So we need to see how OG are going to deal with this and what they're going to do against this DM Taiga combo of the Tusk Death Prophet, because it feels like it's a very killable
Nice,
game.
well
Like,
read by Taiga.
Yeah. when you do that,
Adoraccio is
maybe
slightly
not.
in trouble because he's low on HP. Once Taiga hits level 2, they're going to start to put more pressure. I think this is where the first blood probably going to happen. Oh, never mind. Bisha's also dropping low bottom, but Adoraccio trying to play aggressive.
Shards are in the perfect spot. They'll send everybody over in the snowball. Duraccio's going to go down to Taiga for the first blood. You were talking about it.
Tusk
and,
Gaimin, baby.
he made it happen by
Tusku!
Curse in motion. But yeah, first blood comes through. Maybe Duraccio's sitting a little
I'm not a
bit
big fan
too
of
low
the
as Misha
Elder
gets the
Titan.
sleep off as he dies, and that should allow a trade.
5.
But ooh, just a
Very
quite
Yuragi.
a lot of
Plus a
damage.
Dead?
huge salve. Good body blocks coming out from Ace.
Yeah, Yuragi on the run, but Ace
Ah.
realizing that he doesn't exactly have the chase to get this kill at the moment. So he'll back away and continue to just CS as best he can. He's 9-4 already to just the 5-0 over the Lina.
And the mid Zeus going ham, baby!
Slightly struggling in this one.
Ham
They
sandwich.
do not want to commit on the top lane. Hook already used. Celery very low on mana. He needs to bring some extra regeneration. 3 mangoes.
Welcome to Discord,
second word coming to
arrogant anaconda.
I like Courier shipping out some mana regen and hoping that they can get
Now
this
you
thing
with
start
the
going their way.
coolest
Not the easiest lane to tip
boys
advantage
in
of.
the block.
Bottom lane we're still looking at is Ace and Tofu.
Also the
which
only.
I think we're expecting big things from Tofu when you come up off a performance like the
Hashtag
one he had
Tofu
on
big
the
fan.
previous Rubik game he played. You kind of expect.
Dude,
a
Tofu is
repeat
just really
of what
fucking
he
good.
did in that last
It's that
one,
simple.
and We'll see if it ends up happening, but definitely a lot of spells to steal here that a Rubik can take advantage
Yeah,
of.
most likely you're looking for. Oh,
Taiga. Snowball pulling in the Death Prophet again. So Duraccio has to
Pulling
walk
in
back to
DM
the
right there is
tower.
actually pretty heads up.
Surviving once more
Because
thanks
it
to
makes
the
it
stake.
harder for the... If he
This
was
lane is
further
going
away,
pretty
Pudge would
poorly
probably
for
have
Game
chased for the kill.
Gladiators. Pudge, no HP whatsoever. You would definitely love to put a point in a flash heap, so you're slightly more tanky. And now DM will farm underneath the tower. This is 2 big waves, which does allow Taiga to move around the map, potentially. Like, Zeus is a tough gank to get, but for now he's getting the...
It's weird to
Bounty
say
room.
that Zeus
He's
is a
full
tough
HP,
gang to
does
get.
have a point in Heavenly Jump.
Duraccio Pudge
Now
is
that it's a
pretty
full
good.
day,
Yeah,
Taiga
Duraccio
might
is a
look
really
for an
good Pudge
opening.
player. There are some
Yeah, that
safe
certainly
lanes that are
seems like
just
the
masses
opening
at
you
Pudge.
want. Yuragi falling to
Emo as well
Tofu,
from
and now
IG
short
is
range, so
really
Quinn's
good
in
on
trouble.
Pudge.
The TP over from Celery. Taiga, one shot from dead, but he won't fall until Quinn goes down, and they get BZM.
This is big. This is huge. Crystal Maiden getting back into the game. We'll pick up the Water Rune, getting some solo XP there. Zeus level 5, Storm level 5.
They're playing
as
pretty
well,
aggro
so
for the first couple of
pretty
minutes in
even
this game.
terms of the XP trade that they got there.
I love it.
Quinn sitting 26 and 5 over mid, so BZM was kind of behind in terms of CS, but they get the kill on a Quinn. They end up trading. Who does that benefit more coming into this now that they've TP'd back towards mid?
I actually was so surprised that I saw SMG was about to fucking win a 2-0 against Fnatic, and then they fuck up.
There. This bottom lane is also
The final fight, SMG got 22k gold advantage and mega creeps.
Needs to be slightly careful.
Oh, fucking SMG.
For the moment, so you know, you definitely feel it when you're throwing out these right clicks, and you can.
They were
kinda
even
take somebody down
against
with
a
one or two
Doom safe
shots
lane,
when
right,
they're
for Gabby?
Not full health. Quinn just getting that water rune. He's not level 6 just yet, but neither is BZM. So the chase to try and get this kill onto the Storm,
A big
and
one.
he jumps in and gets a solo kill. Shard's not in time. Taiga not able to rotate to save his
Quinn
hit.
fucking up BZM.
Usually we don't see too many of those solo kills, but Quinn really pushing it to a limit. Getting that level 6, lacking a bit of mana for Thunder God's Wrath. This is where they need to start playing slightly more aggressive on the side lanes, try to get something out of that Zeus ulti. Rune is spawning in 10 seconds.
He's got Arcane Boots in 30, so he'll have a bunch of mana to work with. Meanwhile,
hook.
Frostbite hook. It's lined up, teed up. Can they get the kill on a DM? Snowball pulling him in at the last second. Doraccio getting chased once again. Celery with the Frostbite on a DM. That'll help the Pudge escape. But again, they're the ones throwing out the hooks. They're the ones throwing out the aggression. And then immediately it just gets turned on them.
Another hook is available. Celery, level 5. So too many points in Frostbite, doesn't have enough mana to use it. Sometimes being over-leveled as a support is not a good thing.
It certainly feels that way, and maybe they're just trying to get him low to have the option at Thunder God's Wrath, but again, not available, not enough mana, but he's in the well, so he'll be regenning on up. So if anybody gets low here, they need to be very careful.
Zeus back with the full mana. This is where you want to start to get something done. DM's being pinged out.
Frostbite, hook, and here's the snowball.
The old
again.
classic freeze and hook
She's on level
combo.
4 to DM's level 5. The Shards blocking the Pudge. They don't have the damage to get the kill yet, but with BZM's help, they should lock down the Pudge and kill him. BZM comes in, and that's the first move off the mid lane for this Storm Spirit to help get a kill.
Quinn was thinking about the same move to the top lane, get something done. But seems like OG has a very good read what's going to happen.
Bottom lane, Tofu hit with the LSA. Now has the telekinesis. They're throwing some damage onto Yuragi. He's a little bit low now, the Sprout, but over in the jungle up in the top side, Celery dies, Tofu's gone. Quinn with the Thunder God's Wrath only gets Taiga. BZM not a lot of mana to work with.
Does have a mango, so he can jump
yeah,
on the high ground.
He can ball lightning far enough away and get it out of the hands of Quinn.
They need to get some kills for this Pudge. He's very underleveled. The level 5, almost 8 minutes into the game. But most importantly, Yuragi's not dying. They were trying to go on him. With
They're doing a pretty good job so far. Kind of sick of the meta Lina NP sniper. Yeah, it is kind of starting to get stale. Which is kind of weird because it's not the same meta of TI.
Block on Tofu.
Yeah, BZM, well...
Not in the slightest.
There's a regen rune that Tofu will deny.
Ooh, sad BZM.
Quinn
Sad
should
Taiga.
have this
Oof.
kill easily, and he does.
He was
So-
afraid that Storm Spirit's going to jump in, and you do not want to give that to Storm. He has no bottles charges left.
The
Zeus,
frick is that?
half mana.
Zeus is not
So he's
Quinn
gonna be
kind of
fine.
hero, right?
Oh,
Ah,
man, these creeps are
everything
creepy.
is a Quinn kind of hero. But Quinn tends to be a little bit more of a greedy safe laner.
Right click from Tofu does it. The LSA misses.
Mid
Yuragi's still
laner.
on the run. Tofu.
But in this case, they'll
telekinesis,
probably
but under the tower
put Ace to the position of
Game
being the more
Gladiators
greedy
lost
player.
vision Off Yuragi. So Nature's Prophet ulti did not bounce on him.
To make up
Panel
for
was
that.
discussing about the
So
item
they're
build,
kind of
what Nature's
playing
Prophet's
with
gonna go for. There's like
3
two different
heavy
item builds,
farming
Maelstrom,
cores on their side
Blade,
on
or
Gaimin
get
Gladiators.
to the Aghanim Scepter. I think a lot of value from the Ags this game. Something that they did mention, having this global presence, damage, and the root against Storm. It's also a setup for a lot of their abilities. Could be big, but Witchblade, from what I've seen, seems to be like the most cost-efficient item you can get.
Have we saw Ace. He went Witchblade Maelstrom, didn't he?
I think he did. Yeah, he went very greedy.
Yeah, that's Ace. He's a greedy off laner.
It was certainly him at the top of the net worth. I remember that game. He just got everything on the map. Frostbite, hook, and Misha in trouble. There's shards there, but nothing doing. Exorcism at his joining the fight. They'll go for
gotta get Dyrachyo.
Tofu, can he help out?
Oh, Tofu's got the siphon.
After they get the kill on Dyrachyo, they go after Tofu. Thunder God's Wrath comes out from Quinn. He doesn't
But it's
have
not
the
enough.
damage to help.
Big fight for OG.
Gaimin Gladiators, and all that just for an Elder Titan.
Good moves from OG. Some of their movement got scouted by the near Roach Pit Observer Board, but the rest of them came with the TP, came from the lane, and really nice usage of the first Exorcism. Is going to get some damage done on the tower. Rubik with the stolen Spirit Siphon, but the overwhelming damage from the Exorcism and the Storm Spirit, he could not live there.
We're back up top, and Exorcism over. Archio with the hook. Again, BZM, he's here. Taiga's also coming over. Sawyer with the ult, and DM drops.
Rip.
So to his grave he'll go. Dyrachyo gets one, and finally they take care of this Death Prophet that's been a thorn in their side for so long. 0-1 and 5 now, and Dyrachyo finally getting his first kill after dying 3 times in the top lane.
Getting some Flesh Heap stacks. They always have this like global presence from Nature's Prophet ulti, Zeus, so they don't need to bring an extra hero. 2 heroes is going to be more than enough to kill anyone on side of OG.
Zeus is not going. I already read that.
Has that level 6, so
DK, come on, bro.
now have that Earth Splitter available to him. Bottom lane, Quinn showing, and BZM's coming through as they've got Tofu, but
Tofu's gonna get caught.
BZM comes in, Tofu telekinesis, Earth Splitter, not gonna matter. Tofu's dead already.
Okay, nice kill, nice kill.
Streak here for BZM, 6-2-1.
Tofu wanted to steal something. He steals Astral Spirit from Elder Titan. Not the best spell you can steal. Earth Splitter is fine. LSA mostly what you're gonna be looking for. Snowball and the shards.
It's just he's not been able to find the best positioning so far. He's 3-3-1, so the game's not really too awful for him at this moment. I think it's honestly going well in terms of net worth too. He's the highest support at the moment. But we'll see as time goes by if he's going to have those openings to even do what he did in that last game, which I feel like is, again, a lot of people's expectations.
Cooking up the rune. It's going to be Regen. Let's see if he wants to give it to Quinn. Quinn very low on mana. They're going to camp it for now.
Body blocking it.
How are they going to be able to circumvent this big fat issue? Because OG do, of course, have the Lina, but their opponents, I mean, if Pudge gets enough farm, that Ags, and you get on top of Lina is super scary. The one thing that I find a bit problematic for Gaimin Gladiators is that catch is not good. They've got the hook, which is nice, but that's like the biggest catch, the only real catch that they have.
Make something happen as Taiga is taking out a sentry ward. He might be the one who's caught from the high ground. Frostbite, the damage is there. And with the Dismember, they have the control to get the kill on the Tusk. That smoke turns into 1, and it goes for Quinn.
Yeah, playing into any kind of root mechanic does ruin Tusk. He really hates to play into it. Ace, going into BKB next. This time around, it's going to be more of a safer build. He's like, the only thing I need to be careful about.
This game,
they have decent,
the load serve is pretty
amount
nice.
of physical damage and the damage that goes through BKB.
A bit. It's not superb, but it's pretty nice to get if OG manages to get the farm for it, maybe DM at one point.
But it also gives them some more damage.
It's good against the freeze,
with the lineup that they have,
aka the root, a bit against the Zeus. Against Rubik is pretty good, because Rubik tends to have single target spells mainly. And of course against the Pudge ulti, it's kind of superb. Stupid shoe, let me put you on.
Dyrachyo going down bottom, potentially joining or being joined by Ace. But you see these 3 heroes of Tofu, Celery, and Quinn kind of staying in the same area. I guess the question is, I mean, they're not the ones who are really going to be making that push, right? But if they could get a couple of pickoffs, maybe they finally take a tap.
Oh, Arcane Rune, that's a nice one for Quinn. He's almost got the shard, which will definitely boost the damage output of the Zeus.
Gets the sleep on it too. And
Earth Splitter.
Earth Splitter. Quinn's in trouble. The Walrus Punch. Quinn low.
Oh!
Gets a Thunder God's Wrath
What?
to kill off BZM. will trade with
Nature's
Quinn, and then
Prophet
Ace
ulti
takes out
plus Zeus
Misha.
ulti, and they're
It's
just
looking
dead.
very good. This setup from Elder Titan sleep into Earth Splitter, but the Nature's Prophet
Holy
ulti bounced
damn.
Zeus with the ulti, and he's about to pick up his shard. So the only casualty
That combo is
we have a
actually
mega kill
pretty
streak,
filthy.
so 500
Zeus ulti
gold
to give all the
for
vision.
BZM, but they lost
And
the
then
heroes. We did expect an action pack in
the
this one, and
Nature's
24 kills in
Prophet
14
ulti
minutes.
of
Not
the
too
ad.
bad.
Yeah,
I don't
just
know why
about
the fucking ad keeps
under
popping up.
2 kills a minute, so you know, it really.
I don't actually know
It's been a lot of kills
what it's
back and
even
forth.
from again.
It's only 2K, so the game. Really
So I
seems
don't know how to
even.
turn it. Well, yeah, no.
Overall, nobody really pulling too far ahead of each other, and
Sorry for the ad, guys.
Ooh, Lina
I
this
see
time
that.
around going for Boots of Travel. I guess Yoragi wants to match. There's a bit of a global presence that Gaming Gladiators have.
Right.
So he can TP on the other side of the map. Usually we do see a BKB, so that when Lina joins, she's going to be like relatively safe. But a bit more greedy build, I would say. It's one of those builds where in the next few minutes, we're going to see if it was a good or a bad decision. If he can... If the rest of the team can shut him down for the next like 3-4 minutes, BKB will be ready for Lina.
Hello there,
Yeah,
nerds.
so the
Sup,
boots travel
bitch?
out,
Mm?
kind of mirror those movements, right? And potentially get in these exchanges is Taiga. Snowball will extend what looks to be the inevitable, but now pulling him even closer to Ratio.
Duracho's like, hell yeah, give me that flash heap charge. I'll hook my Crystal Maiden out of the trouble. The
He's
next
almost
big...
got X.
Yeah, this is going to be the big timing for Gaming Gladiators. Ags on Pudge, BKB on Nature's Prophet. Rubik finished the Glimmer Cape just now. And Zeus will have his Kaya Sanj. It's not like the biggest upgrade, but still, 3 big items on Gaming Gladiators. They're going to go for towers once they finish that. The big one is the Aghanim Scepter on Pudge, of course. Reducing the healing coming up from the Dead Prophet, increasing the burst damage.
So just 900 gold away from that. And they're putting the pressure on the tier 1 tower. They're actually
Oh,
gonna
they're
get
3k
this
ahead right
Ratio
now, so
gonna
it's definitely not looking too
that.
shabby here
Could
for
happen
Gaming
in the next
Gladiators.
minute or so on this Ag. So with that timing coming in, you are looking at DM who's trying to finish
Wait,
off.
they
a
don't have
Guardian
the overlay anymore? Wait, I'm gonna quickly refresh.
clear, and BZM he's trying to go into the Kaya Sanj too, and I'm kind of seeing that maybe Gaming Gladiators with this Ags, if that's their moment of go, it
Ah,
could
now it
prove
works,
to be
okay.
troublesome for OG at the moment.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
yeah,
definitely
Alps
also have
Ags,
BKB on Ace.
Storm,
Gonna
Witchblade,
feel much more
Lina,
safer coming into a fight.
kind of the same build
If you
they
take
all
the
go.
fight, Pudge
Okay,
plus
BKB
Nature's
next.
Prophet live. It's gonna be
Dusk is hella broke. He's starting to farm his Blink Dagger. Oh,
Oh,
that's gonna take so long.
Minute or so.
First Tofu, big fan.
So after that,
He's got
Ags
full
are gonna
glimmer.
Blink on the Pudge. Want to be in the faces of these heroes.
It's a good glimmer game.
He's got the
Ow.
Kaya Sanj,
I just bit
doesn't
on
have
my
anything queued up after that.
cheek.
Looking over at Tofu, he's gone.
Shout out from the
Right now,
Philippines.
Glimmer
Shout out
Cape.
from the Netherlands.
Sometimes you see
How
Rubik's
you
go,
do?
like Aether Lens, Blink. This time it's the Glimmer.
Most of the time, at least from recent game, Rubik's, they don't go for a Blink Dagger. It's like either Lance Force Staff or just a Glimmer Cape Shard where you want to defend yourself. You have maxed out Arcane Supremacy anyway,
Right.
so the range is more than enough. Smoke from Gaming Gladiators. They are ready to go. Ace ready to TP in with the BKB.
Standing on the high ground, Celery over, Glimmer Cape from Tofu onto the Crystal Maiden, but they've got the Sentry down. Snowball comes in, Taiga in some trouble, the Sleep hits on it too. Both those supports were hit by that, the Earth Splitter flies in. It's a trade for supports at the moment.
That's
Like,
not bad.
that's all it's gonna be.
You can see the power of their lineup.
Yeah,
One
they have a
Thunder
lot of
Blast,
burst
one
on
spell
Gaming
from Zeus,
Gladiator
and the
side.
big
They
Nature's
need
Prophet ulti.
they need the pipe,
Taiga just
100%.
disappeared.
That
The rest
pipe,
of the team already at half HP.
once they have it on DM,
Let's see
is
what
going to
the
be
next item for
absolutely
Dead
huge.
Prophet
Because they
will
have
be. He
not much
seems to
physical
be
damage, very little
TP.
physical damage
Guardian
on Gaming
Greaves, great.
Gladiators.
They need
Almost
some kind of
everything is magic.
sustain against all of this spam, against all this magical damage. If someone can somehow build a pipe on side of OG, that would be great.
Yeah, is anybody going for anything like that? Not at the moment. It's Aether Lens for Quinn. You've also got the Shard soon for Ace. That'll unlock the Curse of the Old Growth. Taiga again. Needs to be very careful. They see him. Now there's the Snowball. Steals the Walrus Punch. Glimmer Cape. And they have the control. A neutral creep steals it though.
Wild
Bit of
Wing
a kill
Ripper.
steal.
we've seen these Wild Wing Rippers. First, they kind of griefed Lina in the bottom lane, but now they'll help Taiga, keeping it balanced.
Yeah, griefing with the Hurricane and then taking a kill for themselves and back over mid. They're
Oh
still
yeah,
looking.
look at that mid push. Rubik and Chris.
I was literally repeating what you said because I'm amazing, bro.
Nature's Prophet, they just don't have enough. Man, Dyrachyo,
I
they
will be
managed to farm
doing
a
South
Dragon
America
Scepter
again
so
tomorrow
quickly,
night.
Already has a Blink Dagger after he.
If you
finishes these
realize
two
that I'm
games.
slightly
He's found himself
mind
some
lost
open
in the
space. OG
situation,
haven't
it's
exacted
because I'm
pressure
also
on him
doing
since
uni
the
work
late
at the same
phase.
time, very slowly,
given him
very
an opportunity to
meticulously,
kinda
but
come
for
back
also
towards the
focusing
top
on the
of net
game,
worth, and
so I tend to be distracted
now-
slightly.
Ball lightning over, looking for Tofu, Laguna Blade. Yeah, that'll do it. Tofu unable to survive. Celery in the trees, and he's been spotted. So he'll go to the ult, he'll try to get the kill, but that's not happening. Yuragi with the double.
As soon as Lina finishes her BKB, she's ready to take a fight. 2 kills on 2 supports. There was Glimmer Cape available on Rubik, and they did have a sentry ward, so maybe if he popped it slightly earlier.
How about the entity game later? Who's entity up against again? I mean, I have it posted in my Discord who I think is going to win in all the games that I
ended up
expected.
dying on both their supports, and you can see they're trying to feed a little bit more into BZM. They're going to go to the Tome as well. Want him to
Let's
get
see,
those
daily
levels
predictions,
up as
gaming,
he's sitting on
entity.
13
I said
compared to
they'd
Quinn.
get a map
Same
against
thing,
Liquid
just a little bit lower in the level for the moment.
for 1.82 odds.
Clean up this vision and avoid going to sleep.
OG's lineup's very good at pushing the waves. You have Storm Spirit who kills it almost instantly. Dead Prophet with 2 nukes. Lina, like Tusk, this is a support Tusk, so he needs extra couple of right clicks, but their lane should be in a good position. You are playing against Nature's Prophet, so you know that he also kills the waves quickly. Hook misses, so this should reveal the ward on the high ground. It's being pinged out by DM.
Yeah, being pinged out already, and they kind of have a feel for where Gaming Gladiators are. They smoke up too.
I mean, oh no, I'm not going to be
Coming the
casting
other way,
/
they've got
streaming
a
that game
15
because I'll
smoke
be
and
busy
waiting
with
for
uni
Nature's
stuff.
Prophet to probably
I'll only do
keep
this one
to go.
today.
Good
Tomorrow I'll
ability
do
to get out with
some
Snowball.
China
Dyrachyo
with SA.
gonna
Look
push
at the
him off, but
damage!
enough to survive. BKB pulled top
They
by
just
Yuragi
die
as
from
well
magic
as Ace.
damage.
They'll jump in with the heavenly jump of Quinn and look to get a couple of kills here. DM with the
Fudging hell.
surviving on the high ground. They've got the stolen
Tofu?
silence, but Tofu almost going down inside the exorcism as Quinn finally kills off the Death Prophet.
I want to see the damage tanked by that Pudge in that fight. Heaven Hood, what is that? Damage done, 2 ultis, Zeus ulti and Nature's Prophet ulti. Everyone almost instantly dies, but Pudge, he soaked up so much of that damage. Once he gets the BKB, I don't think he dies. Like Lina with the right clicks, yeah, she hurts. She has a lot of attack speed. Maelstrom procs, they don't work, so you need to be mostly careful about this Dead Prophet ulti. Next item, after he finishes off BKB, casual plate mail to be a bit more tanky. It's like, you know, he's tanky enough, but that's gonna help out by quite a lot.
Taiga throwing up a ward, and once they get that tanky, what's the change for Gaming Gladiators that they need to make to get the Death Prophet kill?
Have Pudge alive. He needs to be alive, so Spirit Siphons are not gonna be healing as much.
Fair enough. He's almost got a BKB of his own as well. So halfway to the Mithril Hammer. And he'll need the, of course, the recipe.
Let's see. Quinn's going for the Ags after his Aether Lens, Kaya Sanj,
being made there on the BKB.
and Shard. That's a pretty decently farmed Zeus.
5k lead for Gaming Gladiators, but it does feel pretty close to even overall. I think that back and forth.
I wouldn't say pretty
quite
close to even.
Okay,
It's.
on the Taiga, but
I think once the pipe
Just
comes
getting
into
there.
play,
Yeah.
it becomes a lot easier for OG.
Ulti. This is the power of this
But it's
hero. He can
really
be
coming down to
anywhere
they
on the
need
map
that pipe
farm
as
the
soon as possible. But
triangle,
DM,
farm
wait,
the
is DM
outpost,
going BKB
right now
instead?
he's going inside the
Oh, I'm
triangle.
not a big fan of
Once
that
he finishes
choice.
off that Gleipnir,
They need the
to keep
pipe
them in place
desperately.
so Pudge can deal damage and Zeus finishes off his ag.
I get why he's going
I'm a little
BKB
worried
so that he
about
can
OG.
just Spirit Siphon,
Right.
run through the team
they'll have
fight, but they
even
also
more
need the
control
pipe.
with that Gleipnir. What do you?
Why the hell does he have a fail
Right
of
now
this?
you're sustaining in these
Discord?
fights, but sustaining's not enough. The damage isn't quite there for OG, right? Like
Zeus
OG
is
relying on the Lina.
OG
S and
definitely
Y?
wants
Why?
to have-
Because Kaya Sanj, not
Dismember
S and
onto
Y.
the Tusk, and that's a quick kill for Dyrachyo.
OG would love to drag this game for another 2-3 minutes. So Death Prophet gets a BKB. Same goes for Storm. Right now you can see.
Oh
the
yeah,
power
and
of,
Sanj, because
this
you
magical
need
damage
just
burst
having
Gaming
just
Gladiators
extra
have.
HP is always useful, and
We'll
if
see
need be,
Loki
worst
soak
case
it up,
scenario, you
get
could
to
always
that
split it open to
time.
get the E-Blade later.
Right now,
But this is just, I mean, the Zeus has some decent HP because of its stats resistance
also
and
going
stuff,
for our
plus
Gladiators.
spell
These
amplification,
two
which
heroes kinda have similar
obviously
builds.
for Zeus is pretty important.
Both the Lina and the Nature's Prophet.
But you're going BKB. Tofu has a Force Glimmer, so he's got saving tools at the ready.
Switched off the Gleipnir. Do you want him to get that Gleipnir, have that extra control for his team, or would you rather more survivability with the Satanic?
I think he understands that Satanic gives him another life because you have so much attack speed. Once you pop Satanic, your attack just goes out and you're back to full HP. It's not going to be as effective. You are playing against the Flesh Heap, so that's a bit of a downside. And something that we didn't point out, that Yuragi, usually you don't put more than 1 point in Dragon Slave. He didn't even put one extra point in Light Strike Array. So lowering down to 7 seconds, he chose to get stats instead.
And filled out on the stats
What's the-
first.
Oh yeah, that's
Stats
kind of
maxed out,
interesting.
So we'll need to put points in. I guess because he was
No,
not
that's
taking
kind of
fights.
weird, not going
He
for
was
more
not
points
those
in
fights.
Light
Only
Strike Array.
He's been involved in 4 kills, so the more like
It's
damage, the more
problematic
stats
to
you
otherwise
have,
keep
you're farming
your
much
Fiery
faster.
Soul stacks at
Inside
max.
Roche Pit, Gaming Gladiators, they go.
Any way for OG to get
I
here
assume
as
if the
they
game
slow
drags,
down
OG
their
has the
take
advantage.
towards
Yes, if this
bottom.
goes to late game, OG should have the
Actual
advantage
opposite way
with their lineup.
of going to this Roche.
You have really
Storm,
good
Zeus
heroes
is
to defend
super
the Roche
strong in
Pit
late
with
game, especially if you get
EP.
to the point with
He
Ags
can
and stuff,
stop
and we
and
all
scout
know
things out, but
Storm
possibly set
plus
things up
Lina
with
is really
Storm
strong,
to get
plus
in and pick it
BKBs
up.
will come in,
It's gonna
pipes
be
will come in,
Dyrachyo.
magic damage reduction is going to be
Maybe
immense.
Mages this
You also
time.
have
Does
El the
have
Titan, which is
BKB.
one of the best scaling heroes in the supports in the late game because of
Not
exactly
you're
what I
hoping
just
for
hovered
your
over.
OG.
Natural Order, which is
Opposite
base armor
direction.
reduction and base
Now,
resist
obviously they're
reduction,
trying to
which
force
is
this
so
BKB.
freaking
I don't know
good.
if they exactly want to fight right now without the BKB on both the Death Prophet and the Storm. And then now Yuragi finishing off.
Obviously, they don't have a lot of base
Like, running
armor
into the
that you
ages
get rid
and
of,
giving
but
Gaming
everything a
Gladiators
little
a
bit
second
helps.
life feels like it's
Let's
a
say
chance for
you
them
walk
to
next to
look
Rubik,
forward
you
and
remove
end this game
all
for
10 of his
themselves.
armor that he has.
OG is getting out-farmed right
How
now.
likely is it
Two
going to
supports
drag to
really
late? I
not
think it's
getting
pretty
much
likely.
out
I
of
don't
it.
think
You
the
see
problem with
Rubik
Gaming
7,000
Gladiators is they
net
can't
worth,
push high ground.
costing at,
They have a super
4.5.
shitty high
He
ground
is
lineup.
holding the Philly Stone, so that's some
Nature's
extra
Prophet's the only one that
gold
can hit towers.
coming out from that. And Nature's Prophet hits level 18. So
And you
more
will even have
damage
bots
going
available
at light
on
than
Lina
extension.
and a Storm Spirit. So he can't split push either because they have tools that can split push.
Just about.
I think OG's in a good spot right now.
So he'll be there, and then is it back to the Gleipnir? It is back to the Gleipnir for.
They are
Yuragi,
8k
so
behind though, so that's a little bit worthsome.
We'll see if that ends up being a big
Oh,
issue.
nice
Gleipnir,
jump.
they've got
But
it.
Yuragi has
So it's Snowball.
Stanek.
Your Splitter's gonna be out with BKB's being popped by these heroes around the board. They
And
go after
look at the
Yuragi.
damage coming out from the
Oh,
Lina. It
and
doesn't
the
give a
right click
frick
from
about your
Yuragi
punch.
gets out of his hands. But is that enough? DM low on the back
Oh,
line.
nice
Now
catch by
it's
Yuragi.
Ace with
Ace
a
dropping
Laguna
low.
blade, the Crypt Sword, the Exorcism,
Super
Ace
solid
on the
silence.
Glimmer
Oh
King.
my
Celery on the
lord.
run. He'll burn away from DM.
Hook
He'll
missed.
steal Yuragi, and Yuragi still throwing right clicks out and making these heroes.
LSA, Yuragi, pump, pump, pump.
Telekinesis, Dyrachyo in the Dismember once again. The ball might be
Oh,
for
but
BZM.
BZM is there, and they're
Takes out
losing the fight
Dyrachyo,
big
looks
time.
over at Tofu. He's in the trees hiding, hoping they can't find him like Freddy Krueger, but here they come back over. It's his own
Tofu
exorcism that
stole
comes back in, and Yuragi
NP
gets
all,
the kill.
sorry,
They needed to burst this Death Prophet. She was sitting very low.
Exorcism as well, but it wasn't enough.
Another Spirit Siphon. Only one buyback from OG, and that's one on Misha. So some big numbers, 6,000 damage. They jumped Lina, forced a BKB out, but now you can start to feel this power of carry Lina. Once you finish off that Satanic, you can see Zeus providing vision with the ulti, allows Dyrachyo to jump in, gets silenced immediately.
Splitter across, Taiga low. He drops immediately in this fight, but look at how long DM survives.
And on the in the backlines, BZM has been going ham. Had that double damage running, but this DM, he survived for way too long in that fight.
Survives, and then BZM kind of helps clean up with Yuragi. And
There was a cute little play that also happened, like Celery using a Force Staff. He wanted to get in, get the big freezing field off. He was low on mana and also got Silence. He got clipped by Silence from that Prophet while using a Force Staff, so a bit unlucky there. Big fight from OG.
Yeah, considering the fact that they were down getting towards 10,000 net worth, they really cut into it. I think it's certainly a fight that gives them enough motivation and potentially some momentum going their way.
Two big level 20 talents coming out for Gaimin Gladiators. Pudge with his extra duration on Dismember, and also level 20 on Nature's Prophet. I'm not sure which one he wants to get. If they feel like they need to have more control against the Storm Spirit, then Sprout Leashes sounds like a better option. But also the second one is great against Lina. I think he's going to go for the Leash talent.
Yeah, the Leash talent or the
big rune for BZM.
This feels nice. Arcane Rune picked up here for BZM, bottled up. And
they know where they are. They saw the courier.
As Garaccio, the whole team is here. They're going to go over the BKB. They've got the Vortex. It's on a Tofu. Tofu coming over.
Okay, big catch.
Quinn needs to heavily jump away.
What, Yuragi? Satanic! Oh!
He's surviving! Throwing these right
Big boy!
comes through. It's going to get the kill on a Slurry as well as Quinn.
Hello, I'm Alina, and it's late game. Let's go!
4 heroes gone with Tofu joining them in the grave. It all goes right for OG. It really opened up once that Satanic was popped by the Lina. Hook into the Dismember.
Oh, Dirachi at least gets another one, but
BZM's going to get him. He's getting a big sip.
Garaccio avoids the silence. He's
yeah, that's
mana on these heroes, but I don't think that's going to matter. They're with him. They'll kill him. It's a full team wipe for OG.
Oof!
Yeah, BZM still had that Arcane Rune going. He found Quinn in that fight, making him
OG!
difficult spot.
Overly gorilla, baby.
Are initiating the fight. They are the ones.
Welcome to Hello, I am playing Alina, and it's late game, guys. It's late game. Look at the Lina so close to dying as well.
Going after Tofu first.
And then he sees Quinn. And Quinn's like, I'm in a bad spot. I need some kind of a help. Get stuck here. And then they get dismantled. You said Yuragi using that Satanic, big Earth Splitter on top of Yuragi so that he knows that gonna get clipped by that. The only hero that Yuragi is afraid of at the moment is Pudge. And if they can get him away from Pudge, he's gonna go ham in those fights.
Yeah, almost had it, and
that was really
slightly short.
Really just
the dynamic of the entire
minute
fight changes after that. Once that Satanic
change is needed.
Like Gaimin Gladiators had thrown everything in the mix already, right?
Nature's Prophet was thinking about what he wants to pick up on level 20. Took him like a good 30 seconds. Decided to go for the Sprout Leashes talent. It's a good talent.
I'm gonna quickly bio.
Talents, but yeah, Sprout Leashes feels pretty ridiculous.
Yuragi also didn't go for that full Gleipnir. Instead, wanted to maximize his damage output, finished off Daedalus, and now going for Hurricane Pike. I liked his way of thinking in this one. Isn't going for what we call standard Carolina build. He wants to be able to push himself away from Pudge and also have a Force Staff for himself.
This is something we've talked about prior, where it's like you follow your own mental guide, and there have been times when players don't change the build, right? And here you can see Yuragi changing it. Well, on your screen, you can see BZM getting the kill on the Celery. So, you know, he does change the build. Right now, it is certainly working for him. And we'll see what they can do on OG, because they've evened up the game.
Next Roshan could be up in a minute. This is where the game is going to break pretty much. BZM very close to Hex. And the TP back for now. OG has been controlling all the power runes in the last couple of minutes.
Right.
BZM having double damage in that previous fight. Then in the last one he did have Arcane. Next rune spawning in 30 seconds.
We'll see who has control of that and where both these teams will meet. Roche potentially 35. We'll see what the secondary timer is. Luckily for them, there's no tertiary timer. The teams are kind of grouping up towards mid. You've got Celery back towards base, obviously picked off a moment ago, and Nature's Prophet could join in at any time. A 4-man smoke from OG. And
It's double damage.
Scan.
Nature's Prophet's going to TP in. They know.
Walrus Punch in,
Taiga
falling
feels
into
it.
the backlines, and now they're going to steal the double damage. It's on to Taiga. Quinn, He's invis for the moment, trying to get back away from this fight. The snowball pulls him in pretty far on Taiga on this toss, but they found Ace. Oh, 4-step, not enough. 2 heroes down on the side of Gaimin. Gladiator Celery trying to run. DM's here with him. The silence lands. He's got the exorcism going. And with the Glimmer Cape, he'll be invis for a moment, but the hook comes back empty as DM gets the kill.
Longer Roshan respawn, which is going to benefit Gaming Gladiators. If it spawns straight away, OG takes it. Man, we've seen really bad rune bait the other day in Chinese DPC. It did not end up well, and the same goes for here. Taiga jumps in, steals that double damage from Nature's Prophet. He dies in the end. Gets a punch, and once DM gets in with the
what did I
exorcism,
miss?
they start to run away. You can see both cores of Gaming Gladiators popping their BKBs.
Ooh, nice
so
catch
they can
on
feel the fight
Tofu.
is already over. Taiga gets a nicely played short.
Another team fight that
Block
goes in
Nature's
OG's
Prophet.
favor.
This fight's already over. Big
Watch
smile
those
from
pretty
Musa.
hands.
Yeah, meanwhile, though, the smile's
In the
gonna
wise
stay.
words
DCM,
of
taken out by
Asmongold,
Tofu. Telekinesis by Tofu
I got a
to
clean
throw
dick.
Duraccio back. And take this Nimbus down. And DM throwing a silence on to 2 as they'll back.
that's just a joke, by the way. I do wash my hands.
Available. I think he's gonna find him. Oh, good staff while he's steeping. Misha with the play.
Now Misha in trouble though. Gives up his
Ooh,
life
the gem
for
dropped.
core.
Roche is up.
BZM has
Just
no buyback.
respawned.
He invested everything in Hex. This
Do they
next
check?
Roche, he just spawned.
They don't check.
Is anybody?
It's gonna be
Yeah.
3 versus 5. Gaming Gladiators, they need to get in as soon as possible.
I mean, their Roche
Quinn sees
capabilities
it,
is horrid
just
on
above them.
Gaming Gladiators.
And here comes Duraccio. So they're gonna try and take this Roche.
Well, not horrid. Actually, it does a lot more damage than I initially thought.
Just an
It's
shard
it's
available
Ace.
on this Roche.
It's the Nature's Prophet. Yeah, he's got pretty good right-click items.
Zeus already has it. There's the one on Rubik, so I guess you give it to Pudge to lower the cooldown on Dismember. That's
You
pretty
think
big.
Blade Mill on
It
Pudge
goes down
will
to
help
15
for Lena, or is
seconds,
Lena just
3.8
gonna
second
not gonna
duration,
target Pudge
getting
in team
closer to
fights,
level
or
5,
there's a
and
better
I love
item?
the build that Duraccio is going for. Into the refresher, so double BKB,
That's a good question.
double Dismember, like even double Shiva's Guard. It feels really good to have on Pudge. You also do have a bit of a save with that shard that he just picked up.
Right.
I think it's a
It's
little
not the
bit late for
greatest,
Blade
like,
Mill
it's
because
very situational. Most of
BKB
the time you
is
wanna
ready
use it on
and
a
he'll
core
just
that
burst you
has
down through his
BKB.
BKB. Because Blade Mill damage doesn't go
See
through
that save
BKB
comes
anymore, I
to
think.
back to these fights.
If I'm not
Uragi
mistaken,
spending
could
his
be wrong
entire
though.
time
Been a
farming.
while since I really
Going
checked that one
into a
out.
Swift blink. So Gleipnir completely off the agenda. Hurricane Pike was built after the Daedalus, and now going into the Swift blink. So Uragi destined to output even more damage.
Smoke from the Gaming Gladiators. They want to take this fight right now. Roshan, 4 minutes on Pudge. Glimmer Cape. Oh, BZM is invis. They
Well, they
scouted
know where
him.
he is, and they've got him locked down. They'll go to the snowball save, though, with the BKB pop by Duraccio. Now they're on top of Tofu. They're still trying to get this kill on a BZM. He's quite low with the right clicks coming in from Uragi. There's the Laguna Blade. There's the kill on the Punch, but he's got the Aegis. Ace in too far. He'll fall to Uragi as well. Double kill here for the Lina, making a triple kill for the Lina, burning them all
Fat
away.
juicy rip coming in.
Man, Taiga has been on point. First with that rune bait that they were trying to go for. Now with the snowball save, buying enough time. That profit damage in these fights is pretty nuts.
3,400. Dismember again, BZM. He's caught. Oh boy, the Hex, it was thrown on a Celery. They've got the LSA, Duraccio. He'll die. Down goes Celery. Remember to eat your greens, and that's exactly what OG's doing.
Trying to go for a sneaky play, but they are taking care of BZM, you know, with everything they got. This Hex, and he just got level 25 on Storm Spirit, Overload attack bounce. We'll see that again. Zeus reveals Storm Spirit, and then the big
How to
play.
kill this
It was
damn
also
Lina
a
now?
silence,
Not!
and
That's
all.
why Lina is so
I'm
freaking
not
strong
a
in
little
this
surprised
batch.
that,
Also,
they
late
didn't
game
use their
always favored
BKB,
OG.
So they can't get silenced. The only way was to stop it was with the punch from Tusk.
This is the second fight that's been changed by a minuscule amount of health. The Satanic in that fight earlier with the Lina. This one here.
Urag is like, yeah,
Never in doubt.
you guys got me. I got all the support in the world.
Got some right clicks on that Lina like crazy. I'll survive.
And
the
BZM is
entire
going for
time.
Ag, so you're gonna have that AoE electric vortex, which is kind of like a mini black hole. Big fat yowza. Also, I probably won't be able to do the entire series because I have this match to cast in a little bit on the Fissure channel. It's a best of one, but it's gonna be some CS:GO casting with DK Truman once again. It's been a
Big
not gonna lie, it's been a while since I've done some CS:GO work. Looking forward to it.
What can Gaimin Gladiators do? Because they had the advantage of an Aegis. They got the Roche. They had their time, and well, now it's OG who are well far ahead. Ag's gonna be picked up for BZM too. Oh boy.
That's a great setup for LSA, for a sleep, for a silence, snowball stun, whatever you want to call it.
Oh dear. Oh, and a regen rune. Everything's coming up. Millhouse for BZM.
Millhouse? As in like Millhouse Mana Storm?
Looks like they'll group up. They're smoking.
Or Millhouse from The Simpsons?
Fight.
It just demoed Blade Mill doesn't work on BKB, even the passive. Yeah, then it doesn't really do much at this stage in the game, because normally Lina already kills your entire team during the BKB duration. And he didn't even go Silver Edge, that's how much faith he has in his team.
Ready. I think the one most important one
he just went for
is
straight
Nation's
day,
Prophet, so
Dadoops.
he can TP back into the fight. He's very close to it, 500 gold away. Same goes for Pudge. I think with the buybacks, they can win a fight.
Quinn. Hook though.
Oh,
gets
nice
him a bit
save.
Further away from the fight. Now they go to the
Dyrachyo eats him.
BKB. Dyrachyo saved Quinn. Eventually he'll have to spin him out. And they'll get the kill on
Quinn's
Accelerate.
just
They'll
chilling
still
inside
kill him.
Dyrachyo.
No, the right click
Now
from
Quinn's
Uragi.
dead.
There's nowhere to run. There's nowhere to hide. There's no Pudge in the game for 90 seconds. Walrus Punch on a Tofu. The force staff to get some distance. They'll take out Ace. 3 heroes gone with a buyback used already by Celery. It's going to be a full team wipe again here for OG. And potentially just game one as well.
This might be the game. 75 seconds. They're going to poke, see if they have buybacks. After finishing off the tier 4 towers, they could go and they have enough to hit the tier 4 towers and kill the throne with all the attack speed that they got.
There goes the tier 3.
Very close to having buybacks. Pudge, 18 gold.
Yeah, he's gonna have to. Yeah, he's doing the correct thing, cutting the creep wave mid, but there's still creeps pushing in. Luckily enough, the two side lanes have not been taken yet.
Slightly problematic. BZM low on mana, 900 mana, but
he's got to hide. Oh, the shot!
Taiga found him.
Oh, just in time to escape the TP. Oy.
20k gold lead for
How is
OG.
Fnatic
They were down by,
SMG
what,
going
like
in game?
10,000.
Oh,
Maybe
SMG
more.
is ahead. Oh wait, they have Lina. Never mind. Why did they give SMG Lina? Like, what's the thought process behind that?
That were coming out for Gaimin Gladiators, and OG just had to hold on.
They pick Lina. We pick Nature's Prophet. That'll counter him.
And then they finally got there, and it felt like the fight that changed it all was when Uragi popped the Satanic near their tier 2 tower and survived.
Yeah, also BZM having double damage in that one fight that turned it around. Then Arcane Rune.
Ooh.
Oh man, this win probability, it went from 74% for Gaimin Gladiators.
A lot of stuns on Radiant though.
And now OG.
What do stuns matter if they have BKB? Yeah.
90%.
Like Walrus Punch, the only
Roshan.
BKB
Could be
piercing
fun
tool
if
that they
it
have
had
on
been,
Fnatic.
Tofu.
And it's
Telekinesis.
Lina.
Do they have the damage? Frostbite. Yeah, there it is.
We're seeing
All
in this
there.
game exactly. Lina is a god amongst men.
Up and throw him in the grave. 38-28, so
Goedemorgen. Bitch, it's fucking afternoon. So you're supposed to say Goedemiddag.
You can see the top 3 cores on the side of OG here in terms of net worth. And Uragi is so far ahead. He is 12,000.
Okay, I just
ahead
finished
of the
work.
First one on Gaimin Gladiators.
That's the power of Lina in this patch. Maelstrom, max out Fiery Soul.
Blink next for
seeing it in every
Uragi.
single game, pretty much.
It's
every single
4
pub
fucking
game,
PM.
We see this hero being banned or picked in most
Guten
professional
Mittag.
games.
Sup,
Yeah,
BP?
It's needing and showing that it should be a first phase ban.
I'm planning on buying a new bed
Gaimin Gladiators can
So
get
the bed
Lina
behind
out of
me
the
might
fight,
be
though. It
replaced.
kind of just makes the lead.
in the next couple of months. I want to have a bed where I could like,
But certainly
it's a single-person bed, but I could open it up to make it a two-person bed. Because right now I have like a rolly thing at the bottom to roll out the bottom piece. But I want to have a bed that I can make into a two-person bed so I can sleep next to the GF instead of on the fucking floor. Bed worn. Oh, bro, this bed is old. This bed has seen a lot of pew 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 with a lot of different pew 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 targets.
He pops ulti, but we haven't seen too much out of Zeus in the last couple of fights.
And I was trying to find a decent grade bed for that, and the only one that I could find is IKEA. And I don't want to get an IKEA bed because I want to get like, because IKEA is all like that carbon, not carbon, cardboard. You know the it looks like it's wood, but the inside is just cardboard.
He's going all in. I respect that.
So I just want something that's actually like wood or some shit. But I can't find a decent looking bed except for IKEA. The rest are all just garbage.
So what's he on now? 1, 2, or 3.
Missed hook.
Well, 1 or 2.
Third Roche is going to be a pretty important one. Refresher.
This is that hook and
go to Porta.
Come up empty.
Porta, a bed company.
Still trying to farm up, and the level differences too are massive. You've got the Lina at 28, Thrachio just at 25.
You bought it 160 times 200 bid, which can be transformed into a cupboard. Oh, so you mean like the put it against the wall, that thing? Yeah, I was thinking about that as well, and then I showed my GF, like, do you want to do this one or the other one? And, oh, Uragi's getting owned. Double nom nom. Oh, this is pretty big. Yeah, I showed that to the GF, and she said the one that I sent her, which cost $1,000, that it looked like it was junk. So
to get the save and throw this Pudge away from OG.
Personally, I'd like to have a bed like that so that I could store it up later when I move out.
Now Thrachio trying to look for a fight, maybe
so that I can just have, yeah, exactly. I also have limited space. I mean, in my room especially, I have almost no space. That bed made from scratch costs like 1,300. Yeah, that's kind of the price that I expected to cost. I'm okay with the price. It's just I need to find a decent bed. No, it's not IKEA. IKEA beds with the mattress are like 300, 400. The ones I'm seeing.
The Ags is going to be given here to the Nature's Prophet. So now
Porta bed.
That Wrath of Nature upgrade.
So yeah, having a root mechanic, it's a good
they have like a
people in place and lowers the cooldown to 60 seconds. Holding on to cheese as Nature's Prophet. 6
I mean, I don't even know how to look it up. It's like a one-person bed turned two-person bed that I prefer.
This is going to be really tough for OG. They need to be very careful, despite the fact that they have a 13,000 net worth lead.
I mean, of course it can stand pew pew pew, but it needs to also not make sound when you do the pew pew pew. That's the most important thing, not a
Is there any Lotusaur being built? I'm looking, Elder Titan has 2.5.
Not that I do a lot of anymore.
Available.
All around me are familiar faces.
From being dismembered in a fight.
Still going for that Swift Blink. Almost level 30. Get that other level 30, or other level 25 talent, which is the Laguna Blade cooldown.
Brings it down to 25 seconds. Since you have other talent, it's pure damage and goes through BKB.
What's your rank? Divine 4, Divine 5, something along those lines.
Bunch of extra talents.
I tend to play with friends who are all high-ranked immortals, which is annoying.
Yeah, that's the big one. That's the game changer right there. Level 15 on Storm.
Woo! 250 health. He's also looking for a refresher, but they want to hold the buyback. They want to make sure that they have an opportunity, if Uragi does fall, to hold on to the game.
Ace decided to go with other talent from what we usually see. More HP and damage on Treants. So he wants to push out the lanes with it.
This game might flip. Nah, I don't think so.
TP cooldown talent.
think OG is just too strong at this stage.
DCM.
Of course, the mattress makes the bed comfy. Other than that, the corpse itself
He gets eaten.
is hardwood. It's got the material and is heavy.
Blown up thanks to the Laguna Blade. They'll look for Yuragi,
Okay.
one step away.
Ooh,
And can he get
Duracho.
on top of the lead? They'll look for the hook, but he doesn't land it. So now
That's a
Yuragi's
refresher
gonna have this
used.
BKB for much longer. They'll hit the Hexaton of the Nature's
Oh.
Cross, lightning in from BCM with the Ag. The Vortex pulling
That-
them both
yeah,
in.
late game,
They get
Storm.
the kill on them both. They'll look for Celery, and this Crystal Maiden is as good as dead.
Oh man, what a fight from OG.
I mean, that's the thing. Late game, Storm Spirit becomes a very painful damage-dealing
I
core.
think you can afford to lose Crystal Maiden there.
Whereas
She
Zeus
doesn't. Have a
doesn't.
buyback,
Zeus
but
just
she's
falls
not
off.
The most important hero in that fight, and then Pudge heavily commits. He uses
Storm
Refresher
with
against another BKB,
Agnum
tries to
Scepter
land
and
from
Shard
Lina,
and
she gets
attack
away. Damage has already
your
been done, so
static
no
blah
problems
blah blah
running with the
attacks
Exo.
bounce means you just
Taiga
hit
with
so
another
much
good
AoE
opening.
damage.
There's the hook, eats him, and then
I mean,
Hook
that
is
fight,
blown
Lina
up by
barely did
Yuragi.
anything. Yuragi was only running
Just
away.
Tunnel vision from Duracio. Refresh, hook, and at that point, look at where you are.
Like, Yuragi barely did anything. It was all Storm, baby. All Quinn.
All the way for Tofu.
Sorry,
Jams
all
to
Quinn.
the
All
base. They buy back on
BZM.
base. They've got the Nimbus down. They'll be back into it, and now Heavenly Jump binding in. They've got
Yeah,
the
there.
Vortex
Look at
on
that damage.
through.
Oh, look at BZM damage, baby.
Oh dear, it's
That's
falling
game.
apart for Gaming Gladiators. There's the fear thanks to the shard of the Spirit Siphon. That's going to be all they
BZM.
need for this one.
It's a late buyback
Oy.
from Duracio. If he bought back earlier, he did have it
G
this
to
whole
the
time.
G,
Maybe
no
with a hook
easy.
save,
DK
the
Truman
Smipper
is correct
save, he
on
could have
this.
kept the pace in the
Game
fight,
one, because of course I
he
am.
could have had another
Because
potential
of
fight
course I
available,
am.
but OG, they're gonna clean up.
Oh,
Yeah, Quinn,
Ortizi.
he is
Oh.
just,
Oh.
nowhere for him to
Oh.
go. The steps are there. They're so
Oh.
close, but he can't survive. And OG take game one over Gaming Gladiators.
What a wild game! Like once
DK
this
Truman
ENG
is always
gets on
right.
top of you in the later stages of the game.
Okay, so ladies and
removing
gents,
your base armor,
there
It's,
is,
pretty
unfortunately, I can't continue with the casting because I will do some casting in a little bit. I'm going to be doing this match, the Thunder Pick Bitcoin Series 2, and it's only one game that I'll be covering, but it will be Sangol versus Ikla. And I've seen Ikla's lineup, well, that plays quite a bit, so it's going back to some CSGO shenanigans. It has been a while since I've done some CSGO, but I'm looking forward towards it. Hopefully I'll see you guys on the Pinnacle, on the Fissure channel. My name is DK Truman. Have a wonderful day. I will be sending you guys over to... Do I have any friends? Nope. I need to find people that are also streaming that I like. That have very... Oh, wait, actually, Solid Strifer's live. Okay, I'll send you guys to Solid. Alright, see you guys. And in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night in advance. Love you all. Tomorrow, I will definitely do some Chinese Dota, and I'll probably do some South American Dota.